All right, today we're going to decode a really fascinating story of reinvention. It's all about a massive, established company that's having to completely rewrite its playbook to face a future that looks, well, nothing like its past. So let's jump right in.
And this is the question at the heart of it all, isn't it? How does a company with a legacy stretching back nearly a century not just survive, but actually win in a world that changes by the minute? I mean, that is a monumental challenge. And the answer, as you'll see, is anything but simple.
You know, the modern market is just relentless. You've got customers who expect everything delivered in like 10 minutes. You have AI that's totally reshaping entire industries. And then there's this digital marketing landscape that is just, well, it's fragmented, it's complex, it's just pure chaos to navigate. But right in the middle of all that chaos, one company, the DS Group, isn't just treading water. They're actually building a whole new playbook for the future. So let's decode that strategy piece by piece.
Okay, first up, let's really get a handle on the new reality of retail in India, because there is a revolutionary force out there that is reshaping the entire landscape.
It's called quick commerce, or Q-commerce. And listen, this isn't your standard next-day delivery. We are talking about getting your groceries, your snacks, your essentials right to your door in about the time it takes to watch a YouTube video. It's all about that instant gratification.
Now, what's so interesting here is the why. Why is this model just exploding? Well, take a look at that top bar. The number one reason people are flocking to Q-commerce is overwhelmingly simple. It saves time and effort. In our crazy fast-paced lives, convenience is the ultimate currency.
And all that demand for convenience? It's creating a massive market. We're talking projections that show India's Q-commerce sector hitting $5 billion by 2025. And crucially, 60% of that is in fast-moving consumer goods, which is the absolute core of DS Group's business. For a company like them, the message is crystal clear. Adapt, or you risk becoming irrelevant.
So how does a legacy giant even begin to respond to a disruption this big? Let's open up their playbook and find out.
First, just a little context on the DS Group. This is not a scrappy startup. They started as a tiny shop back in 1929 and have grown into this huge conglomerate. Now that history gives them scale, sure, but it also gives them inertia, which makes the moves they're making now even more impressive.
So their first problem? Just reaching the modern consumer. The digital world is a maze, right? Consumers are on dozens of different platforms, using multiple devices. For a brand, trying to create an effective marketing plan in this environment is kind of like trying to hit a moving target in the dark.
And this isn't just some concern bubbling up from the marketing team. This is coming from the very top. The company's vice chairman himself calls digital a strategic imperative. That quote, right there, signals a massive shift in thinking. Basically, the old ways are officially over.
So what's their answer to this chaos? They've partnered with the media giant WPP to create something called Decode. And honestly, the best way to think about it is like a compass for that chaotic digital world we were just talking about.
See, Decode is basically a playbook designed to bring some clarity to all that noise. It's platform neutral, so it's totally unbiased, and it empowers their teams to make way smarter, faster marketing decisions. But what's really ambitious is their plan to eventually share this as a resource for the entire industry. That's big.
But look, reaching the customer is only half the battle. Once they click buy, how do you actually get the product to them efficiently? This is where the scale of the challenge becomes absolutely mind-boggling.
Just look at this number, 35 lakh. That's 3.5 million. That is the number of retail shops DS Group's products reach indirectly. I mean, the scale of that supply chain is just staggering. How on earth do you manage that effectively in the age of Q-commerce?
Well, their answer is to give that massive network a brain, a digital brain. They partnered with a company called O9 to implement a really powerful AI platform that can manage this immense complexity.
And the goal here is pretty simple, but it's totally transformative. Use AI to predict demand way more accurately, to see exactly what's happening across that entire 3.5 million shop network in real time, and ultimately to make faster, smarter, data-driven decisions.
Now, this whole future-focused mindset isn't just about cool tech, it's also about sustainability. They're proving that a smarter business can absolutely be a greener one. Their corporate headquarters, for example, has achieved LEED Platinum certification. That's the highest possible recognition for sustainable design.
And they didn't just scrape by either. Their headquarters scored an incredible 109 out of a possible 110 points. I mean, this is not just greenwashing. This places them in the absolute top tier of sustainable buildings anywhere in the world.
So we've seen how they're reinventing their marketing and their operations, but their vision goes even deeper, like all the way to the source of their products.
They are investing heavily in something called hydroponics. Now, in simple terms, this is a method of farming that doesn't use any soil at all. Plants are grown directly in nutrient-rich water. It sounds like something straight out of science fiction, but it's very, very real.
So here's basically how it works.
The roots sit in a medium like cocoa peat, a nutrient solution is fed right to them, and everything, from the light to the temperature, is perfectly controlled. And the result? You get faster, healthier, totally pesticide-free produce, and you can grow it any time of the year. The advantages over traditional farming are just staggering. As you can see here, hydroponics uses up to 95% less water, requires zero pesticides, and produces higher yields all year round, no matter what the soil quality is like outside. This isn't just an improvement, it is a potential game changer for sustainable agriculture.
Okay, so we've looked at 4 huge initiatives: a digital marketing compass, an AI supply chain brain, a platinum-rated green building, and soilless farming. What does it all mean when you put it all together?
When you connect the dots, a really clear, unified strategy starts to emerge. They are tackling the challenges of customer engagement, operational efficiency, production innovation, and environmental responsibility all at the same time. And each piece makes the others stronger. And that leaves us with one final crucial question. In a world of constant disruption, is this holistic, multi-pronged approach the new blueprint for how legacy companies can not only survive but actually thrive? Is this what it takes to win the battle for 2029?